like on the surface, but I had a huge drug problem that I was dealing with while I was in the middle of battle rap. And I want to say about a week, maybe a week and a half after my last battle with Jonai, I actually overdosed. So there was a need to get healthy and get back in the gym and just focus on myself for a while. You know what I mean? So, and that's just being as candid as possible, right? I used to kind of just avoid it and just tell people like, yeah, I'm just taking a break because I just don't feel like it right now. Or, I've been going at this for like 4 years straight and I just kind of want to chill for a little bit. But the truth of the matter is I was having really, really bad health complications and I was trying to hide it from my friends and family, like addicts do. You know what I mean? That's just typical. But I mean, at this point, I've been sober for, it's going to be going on 4 years pretty soon. I've been healthy, went back, got a better career in line, all that kind of stuff. Home life is 100% good. Health is 100% good. Everything's just back on track and everything's back to normal. Finances are squared away. Everything is finally back to normal, and on a, just going forward 100%. So I actually reached out to Organic recently and I was asking him, hey, so what's going on with that blackout card? I want to say this was about 6 months ago. And Organic's like, fuck man, like, let's do it. Organic was like stoked on it. And that was supposed to happen. And then all of a sudden this COVID stuff started going. I actually wrote 2 rounds too. So I was good to go. And I was working on the 3rd round and all of a sudden this COVID stuff started happening and it's all downhill from there. so yeah, it got postponed, but I did actually reach out to make a return. I did make an attempt, but however, given the circumstances, it just didn't work out.
Sure, that makes sense. And do you know what? I didn't realize any of that, if I'm honest. Obviously, it's not kind of public knowledge anyway, I guess. But I mean, congratulations on being 4 years sober. That's an amazing achievement, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Amazing. But yeah, and in terms of seeing you back, I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw something on like maybe like an intro to a King of the Dot battle where you did say something along the lines of King of the Dot, see you soon. Is that correct?
Yeah. And that was after I spoke with Organic, and then they reached out to me and they're like, hey man, let's start kind of getting your face back out there and letting people know that, you're planning on coming back, so, and I'll be honest, man, I don't know if I'm going to come back for 1 battle. I don't know if I'm gonna come back for 10, it's just, as long as I'm happy doing it, and as long as it feels right, then I'm just going to keep doing it. So I just reached out to Organic. I told him that I was very transparent in that sense, because a lot of battlers will, I can't speak for everybody, but they'll be like, yeah, just book me for this, book me for that. And then all of a sudden they don't show up to 1 or 2. There's never been an instance where I didn't show up, right? I always gave it 100%. I've never choked. I've never even stumbled. I've always been there. I've always been on time. I've never missed a flight. You know what I mean? So being reliable in that sense is super important, right? And Organic, he knows that. You know what I'm saying? So he knows that if he books me, like, he's got a solid person who absolutely will show up. You know what I mean? Won't miss a flight. We'll be there early and we'll be well rehearsed at that. So that's the kind of insurance policy that you get when you book someone who's on point in that sense. I may not be like Do Surf or Murder Mook or a giant name like that. However, I will show up, and I will show up to kill. You know what I mean? And that's just the bottom line. But yeah, they wanted to kind of get me back out there. And to be honest with you, I wanted to get back out there to prove to myself that I could do it just sober. You know what I mean? It was about kind of just proving it to myself. It wasn't about anyone else. I was writing slightly differently. However, very much the same, like very, very much the same, because I had so many leftover bars for the Jonai battle. I had 3 rounds for daylight that was supposed to happen, but it fell through last minute. And honestly, I just had so many leftover bars from that period of time that, like, I was able to just pick it up right off the bat and just like I never left when I was writing. Did take me maybe a week to kind of break back into it, maybe 2 weeks to break back into the writing process. But once that got started, it was all good to go. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm still interested in coming back soon. I'm a little bit busy with everything I've got going on, so they got to give me a little bit of a heads up. But I'm fully with it, man. I'm in a healthy place. I'm not like, I'm not like the promo guy who's just going to go out there and talk shit and like disrespect people anymore. I'm kind of just like, you know what, man, I'm an adult now. Let's just have a good time, man. But if someone wants to get disrespectful, I'm still that fucking person who will knock them the fuck out before the fucking or after the battle. So there still is that factor. However, I'm trying to be an adult now. You know what I mean? So it'll be a healthy battle, you know what I mean, in that sense. In the sense that I'm in a really good mind state now and I'm ready to go out there and just show people what I got.
It's good to hear, man. And yeah, I mean, personally, and I know a lot of people join me in this, like, I'd love to see you back. It's been, am I right in saying 4.5 years then?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be early 2016, right?
Yeah, I think it was February was the last battle. February 2016, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And like with yourself, so the first battle that I saw of yours that made me aware of you was the Mad Flex battle on Ground Zero.
Oh man, you've been following for years then. Did you see it when it first dropped, or did you see it like maybe a couple of years after?
I'd say probably a few months after it dropped.
Okay.
2014 was around the time that I kind of got more into King of the Dot and was watching the Ground Zero and the Prove Yourself stuff. And yours was, if I remember rightly, I put out a Facebook post asking which one I should watch first from Ground Zero, and you and Madflex were mentioned. So it was from that point, like I've followed you ever since. But I mean, I missed a few battles beforehand, which I've now gone back and watched. And you kind of started with battle rap in a league called Daily Duels. Is that right?
Daily Duels. Yeah. Wow, that's a throwback. you just Nardwared me right now.
But I mean, where's that? Like, I watched the events, and they, like, some of the events look quite lively and stuff, but I've not actually heard of the league before.
Right. They don't exist anymore. It's just a league that was put together by Lex D and Crazy K. Lex D you might be familiar with. He battled like Uno Labos and people like that. He's like a comedian rapper, you know.
Sure.
I ended up battling Lex D in Casual Conflicts, another Daily Duels type of league that's in Southern California. But basically how that got started, and I used to basically, let me just kind of rewind this a little bit. So basically I used to battle in like backyards and like parties and stuff like that, at like house parties. And then I got really good at that. Not to like toot my own horn, but like, and to be honest, there's not really much to toot, you know, in a backyard house party, you're not going against top tier people. You're just, you're just getting drunk and freestyling. So I got really familiar with crowd control in that way. Then there was another local rapper. He's a good friend of mine today. Really talented dude. His name is Lit Fuse. And he was on the rise in the city. I was on the rise in the city. So people were like, hey, you two got to battle. And so we met up at a train, like a bus station or some shit. And we ended up battling in a parking lot. And that battle wasn't filmed by a league. It was just filmed by some random dude with a camera. And it ended up getting like thousands of hits. And because it was like the most racist thing ever, but it was still a good battle, like nonetheless. And he went on to do really good things with music, like, with like the game and his people. And then I went on to do battle rap, and we just went our separate ways, but we stayed in touch. However, I didn't battle for like a year after that. And then I ran into a friend from high school. He goes by Know It All, and he was battling on Daily Duels. And I saw him post something, and at that time he was getting like 200 views, 300 views or whatever at that time. And I hit him up, and I just happened to run into him at some like sushi joint. And I was like, hey bro, like, I got one battle under my belt. I know you're in a battle league, fucking sign me up, bro. I like to fuck people up. And he was like, all right, cool, man. And so he reviewed my battle. He said, all right, I'm going to book you against this guy Sinner. He's like our best up and comer right now. I was like, cool. And then that's how, I made my debut in Daily Duels. Now, Malathion, who was with King of the Dot at the time, was in the crowd that night. And he liked my performance, and he was like, hey man, you want to battle for King of the Dot? And I'm like, well, yeah, fuck it. So I did a couple more daily duels battles, like versus Denner and Crispy the Buddha Head. That one got deleted. Denner, and then me and Adversity battled for the Prove Yourself card in King of the Dot, and it got Battle of the Night, so they moved it to GZ, and then it was all pretty much just up from there, man.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And I was gonna say it was kind of a really quick transition from battling on Daily Duels to a couple of months later being up on the GZ channel, which was good to see. But like, had you were making music a lot at the time as well? Is that correct?
Yeah. So me and the group, I mean, I was making music, like I did it opposite, right? Most people, they battle and then they start making music. I was actually making music like in my closet, like in my room when I was like 15. Like I was already familiar with like, you know, how beats work and like how to get the, you know, how to work the instrumental and layer the vocals and all that stuff. And then I started battling just because I love battle rap, you know what I mean? And I've always been infatuated with it. And so it was just kind of, it was kind of weird how I went the opposite direction with it, versus, you know, everyone else who, like I said, does music and then battles. But however, after the battle stuff, I kind of wanted to just relax and vent a little bit. I wasn't writing on the same level that I was writing when I was battling. And that was kind of upsetting because I was just doing drugs all day long and it was just keeping me in my room or in my office. And I was just doing drugs and just writing for 12 hours straight. You know what I mean? So I had all that time. However, then when I started to get my life together, I didn't really have time to do drugs. You know what I mean? So I wasn't as concentrated on the writing. So I wanted to do something that was more relaxing and more therapeutic. And that's where the music came. And then that started taking off a little bit, you know, and that was strange because I wasn't expecting it to. I was just kind of expecting, like, yeah, maybe a couple thousand views here, maybe a couple thousand views here. But then when the song started reaching, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40,000 hits, like on SoundCloud and Spotify and stuff, I was kind of like, okay, maybe we have something here. You know, so now we've done some pretty big shows at like the Whiskey Go Go and opening up for some big names. We went up before DMX at South by Southwest. We got to hang out with him. It's just been a whole new adventure, man, like completely different. And I wasn't expecting it at all, you know, and I don't, and I know a lot of the battle people, like, you know, the battle crowd, they don't follow my music and stuff like that. It's a completely different crowd that's like showing up to watch me perform than that we're showing up to watch me battle. You know what I mean? It's just completely different faces. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, you know, and that was the big thing that I was telling Travis when I was talking about coming back. I was like, dude, if you guys have an event in LA, which it was supposed to be, I can bring a whole other fucking demographic that can be exposed to battle rap for the first time and be really excited about it. You know what I mean? And I just felt like it would help in generating. I feel like each battler has a responsibility to keep battle rap going to a certain degree. It shouldn't just be on all the staff, right? You should be promoting it. Like A-Word is amazing at promoting it. You know what I mean? He's like, Geechee Gotti is amazing at promoting his battles. Like if everyone were like that, I feel like battle rap would be in a much higher state than it is now. And that's the goal, right? That was the kind of the goal when I was like, hey, let me bring this music crowd that I now have to battle rap. And like, I guarantee you at least a certain percentage of these people are going to love it. Right. And that's kind of what I was going for. But like I said, the whole COVID thing happened and yada, yada. But yeah, man, the music, just going back to that, the music's been really nice, man. But like I said, it was just kind of a therapeutic thing. You know, I wasn't expecting it to do numbers like that. I wasn't expecting anyone at all to like it, to be honest. But here we are, you know.
That's fair enough. Well, I mean, I've listened to quite a few bits on SoundCloud here and there, and I really like the music that you make as well. And one of my main aims with this podcast is, once I've kind of built the subscribers and fan base as such up, I want to do like a show every week, kind of talking about battlers a bit more. Like you said, like a lot of battle rap fans don't tend to check for the rapper's music, and it's a shame because there is so many people involved in battle rap that make incredible music as well. But like,
have you ever heard Dumbfounded's music?
Yeah,
Dude,
amazing.
So fucking slept on in the battle community, as far as like, because everyone always posts like the Ruin Your Day people stuff. Everyone always posts the Sue Surf stuff. I'm like, bro, Dumbfounded is over here dropping heat and no one's talking about it. Like, he's dropping fucking gems.
Yeah,
So like
agreed.
there's him and quite a few other people in battle rap that like are making really good music consistently. And yeah, dude, you're right. Like people need to notice that a little bit more because there's some really good, dude. Reverse Lives music is fucking epic. I love listening to his shit. Like there's definitely some names that drop some really good music in battle rap, and that definitely needs to have a bigger light shined on it for sure.
Agreed. And I mean, the West Coast especially is just it's full of great, like most of the battlers make great music as well. Like I mean, Geechee does, Pass does, Frack does. Like there's so many that just get overlooked. But yeah, definitely. Man. And I mean, absolutely. Like with yourself, so you said you've been doing quite a lot of shows and stuff. Like supporting DMX must have been amazing. But like, are you performing in front of huge crowds then?
I think the biggest crowd we've performed in front of was probably slightly over 200, meaning just for us, right? I'm not talking about crowds that were drawn by like bigger artists that we were opening up for. I'm talking about just us here, right? And that was at the Whiskey a Go-Go. We did open for Little Debbie that night. However, she, like, her fans came way later. Like we were on probably an hour before she was, and then she had her like friend as like the co-main event for 30 minutes or something. So like her crowd showed up like right as we were getting off stage pretty much. But at that point we had already packed the house. It was like 200 some odd people that came to see us, and it was insane. It was like absolutely insane. Like TMZ was there. They were filming. There was like David Spade just randomly walked in. Like it was, I got pictures with him. I'm like, dude, this is insane. You know, like all these things were happening that we weren't expecting. And, but that was probably the biggest, I would say.
Crazy. That's amazing, man.
Like, it's just strange. Like David Spade, like what the fuck? Like, why would he walk in? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, is Joe Dirt here? It was strange.
Can imagine. It's very cool though, and it's good to hear that you've you've kept that kind of performance aspect as well. You've like kept that strong. That's amazing. But in terms of battle rap, then, man, like who's on your kind of hit list? Like who are you? You are looking to come back. Is there anyone that you want in particular?
Yeah. I'll tell you right now who it is. And here's the thing. I was supposed to battle this person. And then Joe and I called me out for the money. And I hit him up and I was like, hey, I kind of have to handle this because me and this kid don't get along. You know, and I was like, me and you do. I go, but me and this Joe and I guy, we don't get along. So I need to take this kid's head off. Like, that's basically it. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. I'll handle that. Then we'll battle after. Well, I wasn't expecting to overdose right after. You know what I mean? So that came to a grinding halt. But it's XL. So me and XL were supposed to battle. And then, like I said, the whole Jonai situation took off. So I already told everybody, like, he's got first dibs. As soon as I come back, like, he's the person I'm battling. And then Oops reached out to me on Twitter and said he wanted to get a battle going too, which I think would be really cool. That would be a very different person that I battled. Like, I think the closest person to Oops that I battled is probably Remedy. Both from the same city, both very political. But Remedy's more rap based, you know, he raps his ass off. So like, that's slightly different. But Oops is a very politically charged battler. And I don't know shit about politics, to be honest with you. I don't pay attention to none of that, nothing. I just, you know, I just do my own thing. But that would be an interesting battle. But XL for sure is the person I have to battle because I gave him my word that if I ever return, that he's the first one I'm coming back for. And that's who I was preparing for. And it didn't really go down because of the COVID situation. So, and then he disappeared. So I don't know what the fuck happened. Like he just disappeared off the face of the earth for a few months. And I just saw him randomly on Instagram for the first time in a long time. And I was like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? We were supposed to battle. So even if the battle were supposed to go through, I think that it wouldn't have happened because I don't know where the fuck he went. But yeah. So anyways, XL.
Nice. I like that battle a lot as well, man. That's a really good matchup. And I mean, XL, the last few years, man, I feel like he's been kind of taking people that are on the up. Like he's been putting a lot into battle rap in that sense. And I know iBattle have recently kind of rewarded him and booked him versus Head Ice, which will be very good to see. But
yeah. That's pretty tight.
You and XL, especially on like a blackout card or something like that, that'd be amazing. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen, but whatever, man. And then I think that me and XL would be kind of like similar to me and Mad Flex. So like, right, we just two people who just like have a lot of respect for each other, no animosity, just trying to just get some good writing out and just having like some crowd friendly shit. You know what I mean? Just kind of just it's like a good sparring match between friends. You know what I mean? Versus like me and Joe and I, where we really, really fucking hated each other before that battle. You know what I mean? Like this one would be, me and XL would just be like a cool like sparring exhibition between two people who just respect each other.
Definitely, yeah, man. And did you and Joe Nice start to get on after the battle then, or are you still not fond of each other?
Oh no, dude, he's fucking cool as hell. Like me and him, we after the battle, me and him chopped it up, and I just kind of told him, hey man, like just basically I don't remember, I'm paraphrasing the fuck out of it right now, but it was something along the lines of like, good battle, thank you so much for showing up and doing that, man. Like that was definitely something that we're gonna remember forever, kind of a thing. And he shook my hand and he was like, hey man, you're a good dude, we just kind of got heated in the moment, kind of a thing. And then after that, me and his friends like hung out like in Toronto. We had a good time, we've had some laughs, we were in the lobby making fun of people. Like it was just fucking, dude, we had a blast. He's a good dude, bro. Like he's a good dude. But yeah, it was just beforehand. A lot of shit was said. A lot of things were happening. There was a lot of just a lot of drama, a lot of ego bullshit. Once you become sober, you kind of look back and you realize it was just all ego and just people just getting in their feelings and shit like that. But it made for a really good battle. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's because we really, really, really were going for like just killing each other. We just did not ever want to see each other back on the platform ever again, before that. And, that was the goal, was to knock each other off permanently. And, yeah, I'm glad he kept battling, dude. Like I felt like he had more to give. And, I'm not gonna lie, I saw him retiring early. I saw that happening from a mile away because the way he came up was too fast. And I knew that light was going to burn out really quick, because Jonah is very smart. He's a very, very smart person. If you ever get to have a conversation with him, he's very, very smart. And he knows when to like walk away from certain situations and stuff like that. And so I predicted that for sure. I thought it was going to maybe go one or two more battles, but I saw that happening for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he did have a huge rise in that sense. Like it all came very quickly, I guess. But I mean, he's another one I'd love to see back, to be honest. And you two, your battle was and still is one of my favourite King of the Dot battles ever. Like it is, from both of you, it's phenomenal.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like I said, man, it came from a place of just really fucking a lot of animosity, right? But it made for something so good, and that's why at the very end we both just kind of stood there staring at each other like, what the fuck just happened? Because when you're battling, you get into this character, right? You don't, everything is canceled out. You don't see the crowd, you don't see the cameras, you don't see anything. You're literally it's just tunnel vision. I don't know how to explain it. And you just go on autopilot. And I don't know what it is. For me, it hits every battler at a different point. But for me, it's the coin flip. I don't know what the fuck it is. Something about the coin flip, where as soon as they flip that coin, I tunnel out. I don't hear anything anymore. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the sunken place with the fucking whatever it is. Get out. You know what I mean? Everything's blank. It's very strange. And then as soon as like it's time for your first, like your first round, as soon as it's time for that and you start going, my heart, I don't know about everybody else, but my heart's pounding in that first like 20, 30 seconds. So that's why I usually start off really slow and I don't really jump into my like multi so fast, because I wouldn't have the breath because my heart's pounding so fast. So that's why I start off with like a few punchlines here and there, just kind of ease my way into it, because I know that I would not have the breath control. I'm like conscious enough of my anxiety, I guess you could say, in that sense. But as soon as that first 30 seconds is over and I get comfortable, it's usually by the second half of my first round where I start turning up. And then by the third round, I'm in full character and I'm just, going in and just fucking not giving a fuck about anything. I'm just me, and that's just, I don't know, man, that's just how it is. I know that kind of took left field, but just what it is, man.
No, I understand that completely, man, and it's especially battling in front of a crowd like the crowd for the Jonai event. Like, it was a huge event. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be a good 500-600 people in that venue, right?
Oh no, it was more than that. There was a whole half of the building that they weren't able to show on camera. That was just as full as the side that was shown.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy,
and then
man.
you want to something even crazier. Little known fact: the battle that I had with Jinai, the right before Jonai,
Yeah.
That crowd was actually bigger because that building was 2 stories. There was a whole second story balcony that wasn't shown on camera, and that it wrapped around the whole building. And that was actually a bigger crowd than me and Jonai.
That's crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, do you get nervous stepping up in front of crowds of that size?
Fuck yeah, dude. If you're not, dude, I literally, as I'm walking out, dude, not even just walking out, literally the day before the battle, I'm not sleeping. Like, dude, it's, I'm not eating that much. I'm forgetting all types of shit. My anxiety is going crazy. I'm like, oh, what if I don't remember this line? Or what if I don't remember to connect this bar? But then you fast forward to me in a third round where I'm just totally 100% comfortable and I'm just ultra instinct Goku mode. You know what I mean? And you're just like, dude, I'm literally freestyling in the middle of my round and then remembering what my next shit was. Like, you know what I mean? That's the most difficult shit to pull off in all of battle rap. I don't care what anyone says. Literally, freestyling before your round and after your round is very easy to do, to be honest with you. But literally cutting into the middle of your round and then freestyling something and then going back to whatever you had written after that, that's fucking difficult. That's like an acrobatic feat that like no one talks about. It's very difficult, especially in front of a huge crowd and your fucking heart's pumping and you're trying to fucking not, like, you're trying to just take someone's head off. Dude, it's different, bro. It's super different.
Oh, absolutely. And like, freestyling mid-round is, I definitely see what you mean. Like, people don't have enough appreciation for, like, I think I was having this conversation with Red Flag, if you're aware of him.
I know Red Flag.
We were talking about Bangs from iBattle.
Bro, Bangs has been one of my favorites forever, bro. Like forever.
His ability to just, he'll throw like 5 or 6 rebuttals, but they're all in different places through his rounds. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and that's honestly like such an intensely slept on skill to be able to do that. That's like very, very few can do that. You've got maybe Bangs, Prep, Sharon, and maybe 2 other people that can do that, like, and comfortably do that, right? To where it doesn't look forced or it doesn't, and to where it's woven in so seamlessly. That is a difficult task. So yeah, Bangs is definitely one of my favorites in terms of being able to do that. Oh my God, he does it so seamlessly. I don't even know if Sharon does it as seamlessly as him.
I agree. No, I do agree. I personally think Bangs is one of the best stylers around at the moment. But yeah, it's incredible, man. But like, with your side, am I right in saying that you and Caustic were meant to do a 2-on-2? Is that correct?
No. I don't know where that came from, but me and Caustic we're actually really cool. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but Caustic was actually one of the few like OGs who really reached out to me and was like, hey, I fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, I really fuck with your shit. And then he was behind me in the Jonai battle, obviously. And he, like, me and him are actually really, really cool. Like I said, I haven't talked to him in a little bit. Maybe I haven't talked to a lot of people in battle rap in quite some time. Like, I saw Danny Myers for the first time in person, like fucking 3 months ago. And we were like hanging out for a while, but it was cool because when I saw him, everyone again, it was like I never left. You know, it was just right back into it, and yeah, it was just cool. But no, as far as a 2-on-2 with Caustic, I don't know where that came from, but no, we weren't supposed to do a 2-on-2. There was a 2-on-2 that I was supposed to do with Alias the Addict.
Okay. No, I'm not sure where I heard that then, but I thought there was rumors of you and Caustic teaming up at some point. But I mean, in terms of your other battles, though, man, like you came up against JC, which I think that's one of JC's only I want to say 3 King of the Dot battles. Like, how did
Yeah.
that come about for you? Was he somebody that you wanted at the time? Like, did you request him?
No, not at all. What happened is JC was supposed to battle Peanut, and I was supposed to battle Bender. And like, fuck, man, I think it was like 3 weeks before the event. Like, we had already had that like planned for like 8 weeks or something. And then 3 weeks before the event, I get hit up by someone. I think it was either Troy Daniels or Organic or Goalie or someone. I don't remember who it was, but they're like, "Hey, Bender can't make it. Would you want to battle JC?" And I was just like, "Huh?" You know what I mean? Because I had been preparing for an entirely different opponent, like the entire time. Which is why, like in my first round, I was kind of throwing in those random multisyllabics, because those multisyllabics had a point for someone else. You know what I mean? Like at first, because like those multisyllabics were meant to be tied into another multisyllabic that was personally tailored for someone else. So I had to basically switch my entire writing process last minute because, and to be honest with you, I didn't even prep that battle right off the bat. That was like, I prepped that battle on like a week and a half notice realistically, because I had to call out of work. I had to get time off. Like, I was like the worst employee ever at that time. Like, I literally fucking just like had to switch game plans. And then I'm sure JC had like, well, JC always writes the same no matter what. You know what to expect with JC, right? But he does tailor make his shit to people and kind of have their personally made casket, so to speak. Like, he's so fucking talented to me. But it ended up being a really interesting battle because it was a completely left field thing. Neither one of us was expecting to battle each other. And then when it happened, we both were just like, fuck it, let's go. And yeah, it wasn't anything that I saw happening, wasn't anything I was requesting, nothing. It came out of the blue because his opponent fell through and my opponent fell through. So someone, I forgot who, I think might have been Avocado or J-Pro or something. They were just like, hey man, want to battle JC? You want to halfway die real quick? You know what I mean? And I was just like, all right. You know, because prepping for someone like JC on short notice is like borderline suicide. Like, you don't like, he's too fucking good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that was a last minute thing. Matter of fact, Joe and I actually said that to me when when he was telling me how he was reviewing my battles. He was like, the one battle that I couldn't really pick you apart on was your JC battle, because I knew you guys did that shit on like last minute notice. And I was like, yeah, same thing with and I told him, I go, same thing with you and Diz, bro. Like, I don't hold anything against you in that one, because you literally got called out 5 days before the event, you know, and said yes. You know what I mean? So it was a mutual thing, but whatever. Point is yeah, didn't see that coming at all.
Nice. No, man. And I mean, I really enjoyed that battle. I thought it was amazing. But you and Bender would have been so good to have seen as well.
That would have been, dude, that was the one battle I wanted to do that I never got to do. You know, that was the one.
I can imagine. Yeah,
You know?
that would have been incredible. I think you were both so similar in ways as well. Like, it would have worked really well. But they're
He was just such a gifted, you know, soul. You know what I mean? He was just so talented and didn't give a fuck if you understood his reference. He knew what he was saying was hard. You know what I mean? And that's what was so respectful. That was one thing that was so respectful about Bender. And I'm glad I had the pleasure to have met him, you know, when I did. And yeah, you know, rest in peace to the legends.
Definitely agreed, man. And like, one battle that I found, I want to say 2 days ago now, but I'm not sure what this actually is. But I found the battle, which is you versus a guy called Tank White.
Yo, holy shit, dude! You gotta stop nardwaring me right now.
It's on like some like record labels YouTube, I think. It's
Bro, holy shit. Yeah. So you could tell how drunk I was in that battle. Holy shit. I'm shocked you just brought that one up. Like, no one's. So what happened wasn't my fault. However, we got kicked out of the club because this dude, Tank White, was talking all types of shit. He's just a local rapper, or was. He has since quit rapping. He was a local rapper kind of from like maybe 5 miles, 10 miles from where I live. And he was at this fucking show. This dude starts talking all types of shit to the people I'm with, because they're all rappers, right? They're not battlers, they're just rappers. So they're all just local guys that just perform at like bars and stuff like that every now and again, just trying to get their music out there. This dude starts talking all types of shit about how he's the fucking best and he'll battle anyone there at any time. And he didn't even know who I was. Like, you know what I mean? He's good because he's a rapper. He doesn't watch battle rap. And he's like sitting there going like, you know, I'm the fucking best, where all you guys are busters, and yeah, just starts talking all this mess. And so everyone just stares at me. They're all like, "Oh, dude, this guy said he'll battle." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, bro. Let me just stop drinking real quick and go battle this guy." Well, I had snuck a bottle of Ciroc into that club that night, like a full bottle, like one of the not 1.75 liter, but whatever, the big one. And I drank pretty much that entire thing to myself. Like, remember, I used to have a problem. So I drank that entire fucking thing to myself. This dude starts talking shit. I start getting rowdy. Security throws us out. And so now we're out on the street, and this dude's fucking like, I'm like, "What's up, bro? You still want to talk shit? You still want to battle? Blah, blah, blah." You know, like, I'm just drunk as fuck getting in his face. And I was like, "We got a camera right here. What's up? You a real MC? Well, you were talking all that shit. Yada, 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 yada." You know what I mean? And so my friend Andy, fucking, who's Jordan River Recordings, that's like his whole shit. He was like, "All right, cool. So let's set this battle up." So then I'm literally an entire bottle of Ciroc in, just completely fucking smashed. And we start freestyle. That whole battle was just like a one freestyle battle. So I just start making fun of him for being a fat ginger, basically, for 3 rounds, and fucking talking about everything around us and using that as a bar. And he basically just gave up, you know, like, but that was a whole weird ass situation, dude. I can't believe you just said that. That was fucking crazy.
I had a feeling I'd catch you off guard a little bit there, to be honest. But
Definitely.
It was an entertaining watch. I mean, I didn't know anything about the other guy, to be honest with you, but it was very funny to see, to be fair. But was it? I think it said in the description it was like outside a show or something along those lines.
Yeah, outside the Airliner. I remember that fucking venue. I think they've like since shut that venue down, but that venue is pretty iconic for like up and coming rappers in Los Angeles. Like that's where that's like the first, I guess you could say, nightclub that every up and coming rapper gets to perform at. You know what I mean? That's where you get your shot to prove yourself to like the local promoters that can get you booked at bigger shows. You know what I mean? So all my buddies that were rapping at that time were all there trying to just kind of make a name for themselves. And then here we had this fat ginger just fucking talking all this mad shit. And I was trying to decide, like, I'm like, do I just punch this guy and just get this over with, or do I just fucking battle this cat? And I'm so glad. It's like the punch would never have been filmed. It just would have happened. You know what I mean? So like, I was like, let's just battle this fat ginger. And I was already mad at him. I was already drunk. I was like, I might as well just make fun of him for like, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And just call him fat for 3 minutes. And just, yeah, dude, I can't believe that. Just, I never would have thought that would come up. My bad, bro.
I'm glad I caught you off guard a bit there, to be fair. But like, for yourself though, out of all the battles that you have done, like what kind of stands out as your personal favorite? Like, which one would you go to if you were watching one of your battles back?
Oh, the Joe and I battle for sure.
Yeah.
That I left on a high note. And to be honest with you, the best battle I ever could have had that didn't happen was the Daylight battle. The material I had for Daylight was immensely better than the material that I had for Joe and I was looking forward to that. You have no idea, because I knew the bars that I had for Daylight were just such a next level intricate. I've since like posted some of these bars and shared them with people, and literally everyone was unanimous. Everyone was just like, wow, like I can't believe that this didn't happen. You know what I mean? It was going to be the first time anyone really outbarred Daylight like that. and he was going to show up too. I had his word on it, and he was definitely going to show up, and I was very, very excited for it. But like I said, it's the drug problem started kicking in, and then he started getting flaky, and then yeah, it was weird. So whatever. But like that. But as far as battles that I would show people that like as far as this is my best performance, I would have to go with the Joe Knife battle, right? I'd have to go with my last one.
Okay, that makes sense, man. And yeah, it's definitely my favorite of yours too. So I understand that. But do you have a least favorite battle of yours? Is there one that you wouldn't watch back?
Yeah, but my battle was Cypher. I don't know if you ever came across that. It's got like 1,000 views or something. I fucking hated that. Like that was back when when you were an up and comer and King of the Dot at that time, you had to take the battles they gave you or they wouldn't book you anymore. Like you just had to take it, right? And I did not want to battle this fucking guy. I thought he was so awful. I was just like, this guy sucks. There's nothing I can even write about this guy because there's zero motivation for me to write for this guy. Like I literally, there's nothing that this guy has for me, kind of a thing. And I ended up, which at that time, I would prep battles for like maybe 6 weeks to 8 weeks, and then I would be pretty much 100% good to go. I literally wrote the battle driving to the venue. I'm not even fucking kidding, bro. I literally am just driving. At the time I was with my girlfriend. She was driving on the freeway, and I'm literally writing my first and second round like right there, just on the way there. And I just was so not motivated. I wanted to not show up so fucking bad. Like I fucking did not want to go. And I just tried to like piece together random shit and that maybe applied to him. You know what I mean? And it just backfired. You know, he had like the best performance he's ever had, and which isn't saying much. You know what I mean? That's like saying you're the smartest kid in the special ed class, for fuck's sake. But he's just a fucking dork. And I don't know. So that goes down for me. You could consider that a loss for me, for sure. I mean, I don't, because I really, really did not even try like one bit. There wasn't one bit of me that even tried in that battle. And that was the only person I never, I didn't show up for, if that makes any sense. Other than that, I was 100% for everyone I ever battled, you know? But that was the only one.
That makes sense. And I mean, I don't think anybody can consider it as a loss for yourself, considering that I don't think Cypher 209 ever got another battle on King of the Dot or Ground Zero, to my knowledge.
No. And you know what? He's probably a good person and all that, dude. But like, as a battler, man, he's just a gaylord. Like, he's just not good at battling, bro. Like, he was just loud. You know what I mean? He was just loud, and then would have these jokes. There was no interest. There was no intricacy in what he was doing. There was no layers to his material. There was no like exceptional punchlines. Like nothing. Like the guy literally has nothing. I'm sure as a person, he's probably a really good guy, and I'm sure me and him would probably even get along, like outside of battle rap. But like, dude, like when it comes to battling, man, there's just literally nothing. Like he's just a fucking like tapioca water, bro. Like there's just like nothing to this dude. So
no, I'll be honest, I do agree. Like I've seen him fairly recently on bots, Dirtbag Dan's league and stuff, and he's never
poor man. Why is he stooping so low?
I'm not too sure, man. But yeah, I do agree. Like he's never done anything to impress me anyway. So I'm with you there. Like I said, to my knowledge, I don't think he ever appeared on King of the Dot again after your battle, whereas you obviously went on to some huge matchups. So you definitely didn't lose on that front. But
yeah, it's a classic example of lost the battle, won the war kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. But like for you personally, then, is there, if you were to come back to battling, like, is there anything that you'd want from it now? Like, is there any league in particular that you always wanted to go to, or any like country or anything like that?
No, King of the Dot's my home. You know what I mean? And I've always considered King of the Dot home. Whether or not, like, maybe things might be weird with them because, like, the battle that I tried to get booked with them, they were cool at first, and then, like, as time went along, they kind of expressed their opinion on, that doesn't really make sense for the battle that you're looking for. It wasn't like the person was too expensive or anything like that. It was just, it wasn't a matter of getting them there or anything. They just weren't feeling it. So maybe, like, my relationship with them might be like, they probably want me to battle whoever they want me to battle first, and I'm not really with that. I'm a free agent. I'm a contract killer. I don't fucking belong to anybody. However, King of the Dot I consider home. I would always love to just battle for King of the Dot. URL has reached out to me a couple of times. I just haven't done it. I mean, and we're talking like 3-4 years ago when they reached out. And I just didn't do it. I still turned it down. I was like, nah, I'm cool, man. Like, I'm not trying to be, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to be super famous. I just love battle rap. I don't know anything about, at that time, I didn't really know anything about investing in myself and marketing. I just know how to rap, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it was. And the King of the Dot, and just be who I wanted to be. And so that's always consider them home. However, if, like, let's say they don't want to book me or something for the next one, then I mean, I'm more than happy to go to iBattle, because I love iBattle. And that was a platform that I wanted to touch when I was doing my run. However, King of the Dot was booking me so frequently, I just didn't have time to do any side battles. You know what I mean? For any other leagues. So, it never really panned out. But I mean, obviously King of the Dot would be great, and like I said, I would love to bring my music crowd to wherever the battle event is and fucking expose them to it, so that maybe we can maybe I can help in kickstarting the next wave of good shit to happen. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I can do that alone, because I obviously can't. It takes people like Disaster. It takes people like Math Hoffa. It takes people like that. But if you have people like me who, like a bunch of people like me in terms of battlers who are willing to go out and market themselves and spend the money to do that and bring people to shows, then this thing could be beautiful. You know what I mean? It could be great. So, I mean, like I said, man, King of the Dot will always be my home. But like I said, if things go awry with that and I can get to Battle XL or something on iBattle, then I mean, I'd prefer that too. It doesn't really matter to me, man. Like I said, I'm a free agent. I'm a contract killer. I go to whoever reaches out.
Nice. Yeah, man. And I'm asking the question for selfish reasons, if I'm honest. I'd just love to see you over in the UK at some point, and I know a lot of other people would.
Yeah, that almost happened. That in Australia, those, and South Africa. Fuck, that almost happened too. Yeah, so I mean, it would be cool, man. I've actually never been across the pond, so I've always wanted to go. But yeah, that'd be really cool. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do 1 more battle, 10 more battles. I don't know, man. Just as long as I feel good doing it, then I'm gonna do it.
Definitely, yeah, man. We'll take it as it comes, but I'll be suggesting to. Are you aware of Premier Battles at all?
I am.
Yeah. I am. So yeah, I'll be dropping some hints to get you over at some point anyway. But like, and yeah, I mean, Blackout now then looks like they're trying to aim for December time. So can we still expect to see you on there?
If they reach back out to me and they tell me we're good to go, which they have a habit of, and this is just from the past, they have a habit of like 3 weeks before the event reaching out to me. You know what I mean? Because like I'm obviously not going to be first on their list, but however, they know that, like, do you watch UFC at all?
I don't. I'm afraid, no, it's not for me.
A good comparison would be Michael Bisping. Like, like I'm not like the Brock Lesnar's, I'm not the Conor McGregor's, but I am like the Bispings or the Justin Gaethje. Like, I'm going to show up and I'm going to like swing for the fucking fences. You know what I mean? Every time. However, they know that, and they try to book me like 3 to 4 weeks prior to the event. So what I'm going to do is I'll write some bars down here and there for some potential opponents that I have a feeling they might be trying to book me against. And, you know, if they hit me up 3 to 4 weeks beforehand and they're like, hey, we need you in, then let's lock it in. I'm not going to ask for any money, nothing like that. I just love battling. I'm really good financially. I'm happy. Everything's great. I just want to come back to battle rap and just kind of jump in and just fuck someone up. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm really looking forward to.
Nice, man. And I mean, for King of the Dot, especially if you're not asking for money, it just makes sense to put you on the card with you being local as well. But I'd love to see it, man. So fingers crossed that does happen. But the final kind of battle rap related question that I've been asking people is the one that everyone's found the hardest to answer. But if you were promoting your own event and you had kind of unlimited funds to put the event together, what matchups do you want to see, and like who would you book on the card?
Disaster New Jersey Twerk would probably be the first one.
Yeah.
that needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
That would be the main event. Unlimited funds. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd even reach out to a celebrity, to be honest with you. I just feel like it would ruin the rawness of the event. Because, like, dude, we see what happens when Cassidy comes out and Joe Budden, and like, we see what these things do, bro. Like, and honestly, I wouldn't even really be interested in that. I would literally keep it battle rap. You know what I mean? But yeah, Disaster New Jersey Twerk would be like absolutely my headliner for sure. I mean, I don't even know who'd be after that because there's too many names like in battle rap for me to even like start going through. Oh, you know what? Maybe even Sharon Disaster. I don't know. I think New Jersey Twerk, Disaster, maybe like Sharon and like Pass or someone of that nature. Like, so just to throw it all for a loop, you know? But yeah, I mean, there's too many names, honestly, but that would be the main event.
Nice. Yeah, man. I'm definitely agreed in terms of Diz, Twerk, and I know Twerk's not been on King of the Dot yet, but it kind of has to happen there, right? Like Diz on URL just doesn't seem to get the same reaction.
Yeah, his style doesn't really translate well to that crowd. However, if I could get them to battle and literally 5-minute rounds, that's it. Diz isn't doing no fucking 30-minute fucking dude. Like by the end of Pat Stay said it best. He was like, by the time he's through about half of his rounds, he'll be at the part in Titanic where DiCaprio drowns. if fucking Diz could just only be limited to 5 minutes, you know, or I mean, I'd even be willing to go 6. Diz versus New Jersey Twerk, 5-minute rounds, 3 rounds. I think that would be a great battle.
Agreed. Yeah, man, it would be amazing. But apart from that, I've been asking a couple of like music-based questions and then ending the show with 3 really random questions. But like, if you had to pick your 3 favorite albums off the top of your head, what would you go with?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, so this is gonna sound really cliche, but Marshall Mathers LP, the very first one.
Okay.
Like, come on. That one, that one changed a lot of shit for me. It really spoke to me on a personal level, you know what I mean? Because I was going through a lot of similar things that were being talked about in that album. The second one would be Thriller from Michael Jackson, probably. That one is just, I mean, come on, dude. It's fucking Thriller, dude. It's classic. Now, what would be my third? I don't know what my third would be. Album. Does it have to be something that like personally influenced me, or does it have to be like, you know, something that
anything at all, like kind of whatever you enjoy listening to?
Probably, man, this is gonna be a total left field. Beer Bongs and Bentleys from Post Malone. That's the only one I could think of off the top right now.
Okay, that's not come up before, to be fair. So,
fucking love Post Malone. It was either that or the first Biggie Smalls album. Is it Ready to Die?
Yes, yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
it's either that or Ready to Die, and I know that's totally completely the opposite, but I just really fuck with Post Malone's music. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
No, it's good answers, man. I like that. And who stands out as like the best live act you've ever seen in terms of shows you've attended?
Bro, I'm gonna get so much shit for this, but I do not care. Bro, Tech Nine, hands down.
He's come
Bro,
up
like,
before, man. A lot of people have said that.
okay, I thought I was gonna be the only one on that vote because every time I've said that publicly, everyone's like, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, y'all just listen to his music and you think it's corny. You haven't seen him live. This dude's doing acrobatic shit, and there's like, fucking the lights are fucking incorporated into his rap lyrics and like going with what he's saying, and he's doing like, dude, it's like theatrical. It's not a regular rap performance. It's fucking insane. I've seen probably close, I don't know, man, 100 rappers live. Like, I mean, we're talking a lot of rappers, bro. And Tech Nine is hands down. It's like, it's not, there's not even a close second. It's literally him. Like, he's number one, like, for sure, that I've seen.
Nice. No, I can imagine, man. And I think a lot of people kind of underestimate how difficult it is to rap in that kind of double time flow that he does so often as well. Like doing
Yeah,
it
especially
exactly, doing it in front of hundreds of people is commendable at any time. So I completely understand that. I've not seen him live myself, but even though I don't listen to his music very much, I would like to see him just to see kind of how good he is live. So I'm jealous on that front. But the final music related question is there any kind of artists that myself or the UK listeners in particular wouldn't know that you're a big fan of? So like any under the radar artists?
maybe Diabolic.
I'm briefly aware of him, so I
Okay.
know who you mean, but yeah, very good.
Yeah. Yeah, Diabolic, bro. Like, he was the first person I listened to where he mixed multisyllabics with bars and double entendres. You know what I mean? And he was doing it like 12, 13 years ago, before battle rappers were really, before it was prominent in battle rap. He was doing double entendres, but mixing it with multisyllabics. And it was the most clever shit I've ever fucking like heard at that time. And his punchlines were just out of this fucking world. So I would say Diabolic would be that one. I actually reached out to him and I just kind of told him on a personal note. I was like, hey, bro, like, you definitely like had a, and Lush hates that I say this, but I reached out to Diabolic and I was like, hey, bro, like, just wanted to let you know, like, you inspired me and like you definitely had a hand in me changing my writing style to like be more like you. And fucking, he reached back out to me and he's like, I know who you are. He's like, you're fucking dope and blah, blah, blah. He goes, let me know if you ever want to do a track. And that my inner childhood just exploded when that happened. Like, you know what I mean? So I
That's
freaked out.
amazing. I'd love to
And
see that, man.
yeah, Diabolic, definitely, dude. He's been putting out these random ciphers lately that like on YouTube, like with like these kids from the East Coast. Dude, he is coming with some fucking heat in those ciphers, man.
Can imagine. Didn't he battle Immortal Technique? Am I right there?
Yeah, he did. He did. Long time ago. Like, we're talking back when it looked like it was filmed with a potato.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is old, bro.
Yeah. It's like for me, I kind of got into battle rap about 11 years ago. So I got into it through Don't Flop and then only really watched UK stuff for the first kind of 2 years and then found like King of the Dot and Grind Time and stuff like that. But
yeah, we all go down that rabbit hole, you know what I mean, where we start finding things and we start kind of searching new people. And like you watch at the Soares first Iron Solomon battle, but you like Iron Solomon now, and so you want to look at his battles, and then he battled Jin, so now you want to research Jin, and you know what I mean? Like, you start going down that rabbit hole, and that's kind of how you find the really good stuff.
exactly, yeah, man. But one of the only American battles that I'd seen at that kind of time was Diabolic versus Immortal Tech, I think, and that was just from knowing Immortal Technique music and randomly coming across it. But yeah,
and I think same story for a lot of us that watched it, you know what I mean? Like, before that, like, I only knew Diabolic from at the very end of Dance with the Devil. I'm so sorry to mention that on your show. But like the song Dance with the Devil, Technique, like, Diabolic was at the end of it, and he had this insane verse, and everyone's like, who is this guy? And then when he came up in that battle with him in Immortal Tech, that, people got more familiar with him on that end, and then he dropped a really crazy album after that. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's definitely got my respect.
Yeah, he's amazing, to be fair. And then, so the final three questions are completely random, but are you a big sports fan?
No, definitely. Like, I only watch UFC and boxing.
Okay, so you've not got a favorite sports team then?
Go Patriots? Question mark.
Fair enough. No worries. But like, if you could pick anywhere in the world for your next holiday or trip abroad, where would you go?
Italy.
Nice.
Italy. I mean, as soon as everything calms down over there, Italy for sure. Beautiful. I'm actually half Italian. So, I mean, I definitely want to go there just to kind of get a feel for the vibe and eat some food and just, you know what I mean? Just travel in that sense and see Italy. But yeah, Italy's definitely on my list.
Nice. Yeah, I like that, man. Italy's meant to be amazing. It's one of the few countries in Europe that I've still not been to, so I need to go myself. But where would you say is your favourite place that you've visited so far?
I want to say Toronto, but like that's kind of a bias because every time I went to Toronto, it was like when everyone knew who I was. So maybe it might just be ego driven. Let me think. Fuck, man, it actually might be Toronto. Favorite place that I visited. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, you know what? Catalina Island's up there too. There's an island off the coast of California that's like maybe like 10 to. No, got to be more than that. It's got to be like maybe 50 miles like wide or whatever, and it's just really tropical, and you have to like take a helicopter to get there. So it's between Catalina Island and Toronto's got it for sure.
Okay, nice, man. And then the final one, and this has brought up some horrible answers so far, so the pressure's on a bit. But you can pick one sweet and one savoury, but what are the go-to munches or the go-to snacks for you?
One sweet, one savory?
Yeah.
Savory as in like steak or something like that?
Sure, just any snack that isn't like sweet.
Well, let me start with the sweet. Chocolate chip cookie dough. But the ice cream.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. I fuck with that, especially when I'm high. Savory. Damn, dude, this is a fucking. This is difficult, bro. This is definitely difficult. Savory. Well, I mean, that's salty or spicy, really. Fuck. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say steak, bro. I fucking love steak. Prime rib.
Okay, fair enough. No, they're definitely better than some of the answers I've had, to be fair. So you've done well.
Outback up super hard a few times, so I'm gonna go with that.
Nice. Okay, I like it, man. But apart from that, that's pretty much all the questions done, man. But was there anything that you wanted to like plug or promote on the show at all?
Honestly, not really, man. Just follow my group /Mafia on Instagram. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. We have a lot of stuff in the works. Obviously, no shows right now because of the situation, but we've got a lot of new music on the way, man. We've got like 5 or 6 songs just in the chamber, just ready to go. So we're going to be definitely dropping some gems on there. So just follow /Mafia on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's like spelled Psycoses, but with a 3, PSYCO3, or no, excuse me, PSYCOS3S. Can't even spell my fucking own name. But that would probably be it, man. I'm not really big on the whole promo stuff. Just follow you. You know what I mean? But that would probably be it, man.
Nice. No worries, man. I've just followed those accounts myself, but apart from that, man, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. So thank you for taking the time, and fingers crossed we get to see you back in the ring very soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, man. But you stay safe over there anyway, man, and I'll speak to you soon.
Absolutely. Have a great one.
You too. Take care.